I'm John Batchelor with John Avlon of CNN and the Daily Beast and Taegan Goddard of Political Wire. Lisa Murkowski has moved into the lead to be re-elected senator from the state of Alaska. The Tea Party is stymied in Alaska at this point. Taegan, would that be a generous way of putting it? Stymied. The Tea Party was turned back at the last moment.
In a shocking way, really, a write-in candidate possibly winning the U.S. Senate race.
Now, to my count, and John, correct me on this. Christine O'Donnell, a Tea Party loss, correct?
Yeah.
Ken Buck in Colorado, a Tea Party loss.
Yes. Sharon Angle.
Sharon Angle in Nevada, a Tea Party loss. And now Joe Miller, what looks to be a Tea Party loss in Alaska. Now, that's 4 gone, but pretty good for an outfit that didn't really exist before the summer of 2009.
Well, look, if you count the ticket splitting, you can make a case. Republicans, given this wave, should have taken the Senate. That's how deep the wave was. Right. And O'Donnell and Angle really, really hurt him, and Ken Buck as well, which is a state that the right kind of Republican should have had a great year. But in all cases, you've got folks who didn't have only Tea Party support, but were strong social conservatives in a way that resonated with some conservative populist activists, but alienated independents and centrists.
There were Republicans who enjoyed Tea Party support who were also conservative Republicans beforehand. Comes to mind Pat Toomey in Pennsylvania, Marco Rubio in Florida.
Marco Rubio, I've never considered a Tea. He's always been bigger in a Tea Party candidate. I thought when he was labeled that by the Christie campaign, by the help me out, Charlie Crist campaign. It was really an attempt to diminish his influence. I think Marco Rubio's base was always bigger than anything there. And in Pat Toomey's case, as I pointed out many times, he had a 142,000 split ticket difference with Corbett. That is a sign of weakness, not strength. 142,000 folks that voted for Corbett voted for Sestak. That's not insignificant.
Taegan, I'm told, and I checked this, that there's a new power in Washington. I wonder if you've picked this up. His name is Dick Armey. He's an old-fashioned politician. I think he's been kicking around for years. I think he might be 150 years old. He was born in North Dakota, but he claims to be a Texan. And he lives in Washington, D.C., and he's paid $500,000 a head of Freedom Works. And somehow this snake oil salesman named Dick Armey is the godfather of the Tea Party. He's a libertarian. He preaches the Austrian school. And if you have to ask what that is, I don't care. Why should you? In any event, it's the libertarian school, which is no taxes, small government, and somehow the poor people take care of themselves. Taegan, does this work for the Tea Party, or are we going to see Dick Armey being the flavor of the month and he'll be forgotten?
No, I think Dick Armey is actually one of the main supporters of the Tea Party movement at this point. And I think the former House Majority Leader back in the Gingrich Revolution, I think he's firmly put himself in a position of authority among this people. But there is a little battle going on between Sarah Palin, who's got much more of a social conservative streak to her, and who's also backed the Tea Party candidates, with Dick Armey, who really doesn't want anything to do with social issues.
And John, that's the tension right now. Sarah Palin is social conservative, Dick Armey libertarian.
This is a huge fault line underneath the Tea Party movement, and it's an important one. Because the core of the Tea Party's appeal has been a libertarian rhetoric, which really helped it rally a whole crowd around it, helped it appeal to independent voters, centrists, and that has been, if I analyze the Tea Party movement, I see 2 things. You see the principled fiscal conservatism that began this movement, and then you see the more social conservative activists who some of which suffered from a case of Obama derangement syndrome coming in as well. The problem with our political debate in this country is that the Democrats have only ever seen the ODS crowd, and the Republicans only see the principled fiscal conservatism. Underneath the Tea Party movement today and in Congress, the fault line is between the libertarians and the social conservative populists. And if they stick with the libertarian message of fiscal conservatism, they can do great things because they will keep the allegiance and grow the party's movement with independents and centrists. If they are hijacked by social conservatives, who were essentially use the Tea Party movement as a Trojan horse, they will alienate independents very, very, very quickly. And indeed, of the 5 statewide candidates who were opposed to abortion, even in cases of rape and incest, that ran under the Tea Party banner, every single one lost except Rand Paul this year. And that's an important fault line to focus on.
Taegan, you see every week, John Avlon comes in here and paints the best case scenario for everything to come out happy in the end. You see what a struggle it is? Because I know that the only mistake I make in this program is not to be cynical enough. And the handsome and youthful Mr. Avlon comes in here and reminds me of the happy ever after scenario. So I ask you as a third party, a man who's not in any way a veteran, but in fact a youthful advisor, the Tea Party, will it be successful in winding its way to the palace without nodding to the Cro-Magnon part of the Republican Party that will insist upon hammering the table and demanding my way or the highway? Will the Tea Party survive, Taegan?
Well, you know, without a leader, I don't think that it will, and I think there's a fight for who's going to be the leader. And the interesting thing about Sarah Palin really is the fact, if you go back before she was named to the ticket with John McCain, she was really only known for good government and reform in anti-corruption in Alaska. She was a social conservative, but that's not what she was known for. Now, that's become her ticket to national politics, is the social conservative side. So she's the one who's caused that rift right now.
Taegan Goddard of Political Wire, John Avlon of CNN and the Daily Beast, Sarah Palin of Superstar, and Dick Armey, quietly the godfather of the Tea Party. I'm John Batchelor.